Here with reaction, founder of the Committee to Unleash Prosperity, Steve Moore, and former White House Chief of Staff, Reince Preibus. Steve, you and your group, you actually did an analysis about how if we stuck with the Trump energy policies, it would be $100 billion added to our GDP?
That's right, Sean. And, you know, when I used to talk to Donald Trump about energy policy back in 2016 when he was first running for president, he always talked about, we're going to make America energy independent. In fact, he said, we're going to be selling the stuff, not buying it. And remember, at that time, everybody in the media and all the Democrats laughed at Trump, saying that's never going to happen. Well, it did happen. And what a difference 20 months make. Because now, because of Biden's war on American energy, I'm talking about oil, gas, and coal, which we have more of than any other country, it is really pathetic that we have a president who has to go prostrate in front of the Saudis and ask them to increase their oil production when, in fact, they did just the opposite. So we could be, the bottom line from our study, we could be producing 3 million more barrels a day, Sean. That would be $100 billion a year, and we wouldn't need to worry about the Saudis. Incidentally, do you remember us talking a lot about OPEC when Trump was president? No, because Trump made them a toothless tiger. Now they have teeth again, and they're doing everything they can to injure the American economy.
You know, for the life of me, Reince Preibus, you know, Donald Trump, we were paying a little over $2 a gallon for gasoline. We were energy independent for the first time in 75 years. We were a net exporter of energy. Vladimir Putin turns off the spigot in Western Europe. They're going to suffer. People may literally freeze to death this winter there. Why is it never an option? Why is it a better option to suck up to MBS or suck up to Maduro, a murdering thug dictator in Venezuela, or suck up to OPEC, or suck up to the Iranian mullahs, when we've got more natural resources here than most of these countries combined? Why wouldn't he choose the policy where we can do it cheaper, cleaner, and faster? I don't get it.
I don't get it either, and you're right. But you know, the liberal policies of this Democrat Party and this incredible fascination with shutting down gas, oil, fossil fuels, and an instant marriage to environmental extremism is what's happened, and you can see it, Sean, on day one. On day one on his executive orders, he shut down the Keystone Pipeline. Democrats say, "Oh, it doesn't matter because that would have handled something that was 8 years down the road." Yeah, but part of setting the price on gas and oil is what the supply is going to look like in 8 years. And he shut down leases. I went down to Houston this week. I met with a lot of big energy companies in that space, and you know what they say? Look, if you're in our world and you're asking us to spend tens of billions of dollars on energy, it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen because with this administration, there's no welcoming mat for us to increase production, only to suffer. And you talk about Biden's speech today, and he's hammering Republicans. And if you look at what's happened, he's gone back to the 1970s playbook. He's gone back to saying Republicans are going to get rid of Social Security. They're going to get rid of Medicare. Look what Joe Biden's done. Look what he's done in just 2 years. He has infused this economy with government handouts, and he has made Americans poorer. It's like what Ronald Reagan said years ago. He said, years ago, the government declared war on poverty, and poverty won. And that's what's happening in America.
You know, Steve Moore, how long would it take American energy companies to get up and running? Now, I would argue if Biden gave them a temporary reprieve, they're going to be very hesitant to invest the hundreds of millions of dollars to get these things up and running, because they're going to be like, all right, well, when are you going to shut it down again? When will you give in to the radical climate cult in your own party? But if we really wanted to ratchet up production, how long would it take in this country? And by the way, I'll add one other thing, Steve. If the Keystone XL pipeline was finished, we'd be getting daily 900,000 barrels of oil from Canada every day.
It ain't going to happen under this president. even if he made a declaration tomorrow, okay, I changed my mind, I don't think the energy companies will believe him. I mean, there is one promise that Joe Biden actually kept. Do you remember in that very famous debate with Trump, Biden said, I want to close down the oil and gas companies. Well, he has done that. And folks, right, we're looking at gas prices now going up to $4.50 and $5 a gallon again. I have a friend in Los Angeles just emailed me today with a little chart. It showed that they're now paying $6.99 a gallon again in California. So the middle class is getting crushed here, and those energy prices are going to continue to go up.
California, it's $6.50 on average a gallon. In Nevada, it's $5.50. In Oregon, it's over $5. It's all coming back. Reince will give you the last word.
Well, that just go back to what you said in your last segment, which is you got to put Republicans in charge of the Congress, because at the very least you're going to put a check on Biden. You know what? Our founding fathers loved faction. I think Washington, D.C. not getting something done for a while might be just perfect for our country for a while to stop the Democrats.
Yeah, well said. All right, thank you, Reince Preibus. Thank you, Steve Moore. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.